Have you ever wondered how Donald Trump created a culture of outsiders versus insiders? Well, how did he do it? Seth Godin explains in This Is Marketing, Part 2. People like us do things like this. So the big idea that Seth talks about in the book of people like us do things like this is that what he's saying is, in modern marketing, you have to be a thought leader. You have to be a leader of a tribe, and you have to tell that tribe that we have shared characteristics. We have a shared value system. And within that shared value system, this is what people with that do, right? And he talks about a good example of, in the book, he's saying that instead of saying that people should donate to charity and those people are like us, he says you always start with us. People like us do something like this. People like us donate to charity. So he's always saying that you always start with your tribe, starting with us. And you're always trying to tell your tribe, this is what people like us do, okay? Now, what is that naturally going to do? It's naturally gonna create conflict and that there's a division, right? And Donald Trump does this actually almost exclusively, right? Great example is kneeling for the flag. For his tribe, kneeling for the flag, he takes a stance on it. He says, no, for our little group, this is something that we don't tolerate. And when you look at a lot of other politicians, they're not willing to stand with their tribe and say, no, this is what people like us think, right? If you're a conservative, if you're someone who's evangelical, you should stand in front of the flag. And he publicly says that, right? And it does create an insider versus outsider. But if you're part of the inside, you feel as if that is part of your shared value system versus other politicians where they say, well, do whatever you want. Well, do I really connect with that person and what their vision is if they're not willing to stand for any shared values? Probably not. Another great example that he talks about is this idea of elite versus exclusive, right? And so elite, he says, is really the best of the best. It is top of the top, right? And it by definition is exclusive, right? Because there's a lot of people that are not allowed to be in that elite club. But exclusive is different, in that anybody can make something exclusive by just saying a certain part of the population cannot be a part, right? So the idea is, let's say you have a company and they say, you know what, for the first 100 fans that sign up, we're going to allow you to be a VIP gold member. That's exclusive, but is that really elite? No, there's nothing that they necessarily produced, or there's no achievement that they gave you. It's just simply you as a company are saying, hey, the first 100 come in, we give you this status that no one else. So once again, you're creating this tension between insider, outsider by saying you don't have to earn elite status. We could just simply say that by virtue of excluding a lot of people, the people inside feel higher status. So to roll it back a bit, in modern American culture, a lot of people know the show Mad Men. And this is a show going all the way back to the 50s and how, you know, Madison Avenue, the advertising giants, how they came to be. And it was critically acclaimed. And it's one of the best TV shows in the last probably 30 years, right? Seth says only 1% of the population actually watched it. And yet it's elite, right? And it's one of the most well-regarded TV shows, only 1%. But clearly for people that have watched Mad Men, anything that show says to do, they're going to want to follow it. They want to be known as great marketers, great business people, right? But it's only 1%, very, very exclusive. And so we always want to think, how do you define the us? And then how do you tell that us what is the shared values? And when, you know, questions arise or when current topics come up, one of the things in marketing you can do is you can say, hey, people like us, this is how we react to it. And it's a great way to define who's inside the club and elevate the status of those people. Okay, so the second point that Seth talks about in terms of people like us doing things like this is this idea of us as marketers creating a tension, right? You create that tension. And I love in The Joker, the new movie The Joker back in 2019, how he has that scene of him going behind and he's ripping apart, you know, his shoes. That is tension, right? And tension is the pain point that we feel knowing that we're supposed to do something and we're not there and we have to take action. But how do you necessarily get yourself to take that action? It's what good marketers do. It's what good tribe leaders do, is they force people in the tribe to take action, massive action actually, to get the end state, the end result, okay? This is actually a problem that I see with a lot of like cooking channels, is that I get it, you love cooking and you're presenting all these great recipes and everything, but are you really challenging people? Are you really giving them a call to action? Are you really saying, if you follow me, I need you to get to this point? Now, follow me and do what I'm saying and we're gonna get there together, but I'm challenging you. Good marketers understand that. People want to be challenged to elevate their game. Cooking channels a lot of times fail to do this, right? And a good example would be, let's say someone like Byron Talbot. Great chef, top-notch chef, no doubt about it. But when you watch his videos, where's the challenge? What is he actually telling you? Hey, follow my channel and you're going to be a Michelin star chef. Or follow my channel and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of hard work, but you're gonna impress family with very simple meals, right? Where's the challenge? Where's the status elevation? And that's what tension brings. And then you as the leader, what you do is you break the tension by saying, I'm gonna give you that forward action and progress towards the end state. And a lot of times we have to use resources. That's your products. Or a lot of times you have to use the services of others, right? And that's gonna cost money. But if you can get your tribe to believe in that end vision and that they believe that what you're saying is there's problems here, but we got to push forward, that's when you're going to start making money. That's when marketing starts turning into money making, okay? So I love that idea that Seth talks about. Create the tension, right? Elevate the pain point, but really sell people hard on you're going towards this end point. Follow me, you're going to get there, right? You're going to be the best chef, impress family. You're going to eat brilliant food every day, half the time, half the cost. Always give that great call to action and make sure that people feel as if they're the hero of the story and that you're just a leader guiding them, okay? It's a great thing by Story Brand in terms of how do you make someone the hero of their story? You're the guide, you're the leader, but you're pushing them along that path, right? So when they doubt themselves, you're there to say, no, you gotta keep moving forward, take massive action, be that higher status. Okay, so the next part 3, that's the big idea I think for people like us do things like this, is the idea of treating different people differently, okay? And this is really, really hard for us because fundamentally people are hardwired to be accepted by the group versus being a leader, which means that you do treat people differently. Make no doubt about it, right? Good example of this is if you are in sales, are you going to treat your lead salesperson who's generating revenue all the time? Are you going to treat them like a superstar? Oh, hell yeah, you are. They're getting results and they deserve that because they're getting the company results. You don't treat everybody equally. Everyone is, equal opportunity. Everybody is not discriminated against, but you treat superstars like superstars for a reason. They get you results. And so he just talks about in here the big idea of an early adopter. What is it that they want? People who are first going to pick up your brand or product, what is it that they really want? Well, by nature, they're people that want new. They want novelty, right? They want things that break things, right? Gives a good example is that people in here, they want to read the news online. They want cloud computing because it's new, it's different. They want to be on that thrill of being ahead of the curve versus the mass majority. And the mass majority doesn't necessarily want that. They want safety, they want security, they want consistency, reliability. And that's fundamentally 2 different things. And so he's saying you have to treat both of them completely different. And that's something that really, really took to me in that most companies don't do that. They don't treat both of those subsets differently. As well as the idea of the super user, which is a good quote in the book Seth talks about is that you serve many, serve a lot of people, but it's only a few. It's only a few that you're actually going to profit from. And he's not actually saying you directly profit from them, which I thought was interesting. He says those few as super users, either they order more, okay, they are repeat customers, so there's frequency, And usually it means that they're actually either an influencer, a thought leader, they can connect with people. They're the people that are gonna get your word out. Very, very few people. And you need to make sure they get treated like royalty, because they're gonna be the ones, in terms of the critical few, they're the critical few that's gonna get you results, okay? They're gonna be the ones to spread the word for you. And so you wanna be able to treat them like the royalty they are for your brand, and you want them to almost be kind of like sub-leaders. Let them have input on what you're doing. Let them feel like they're a part of your tribe at a higher level than just a normal user, because they're not, they're super users. And those are gonna be the ones that are gonna get you a lot of big results. Okay, so the last part that Seth talks about in this idea of treat different people differently is the idea of brand marketing versus direct marketing. And he says that brand marketing is like waving the wand, it's magic, okay? And I thought that was really good, because he then follows it up saying that direct marketing, which is basically just the phone ringing. And a good story is actually, this happened to me a couple nights ago. We were just talking about this, how does telemarketing even work anymore? Do people really pick up the phone? Like, how many people actually care about that phone call versus hang up? Is that really worth your time? Versus brand marketing, where Nike says, we stand with Colin Kaepernick, and their sales go up. Two totally different levels of thinking about marketing and treating different people differently, right? And so I loved how he was saying that you want to create the brand, get those shared values, treat those super users like royalty. That's totally different than just direct marketing, trying to go direct to the person and say, hey, this is what our product is, it's gonna help you, it's gonna help you. It's not necessarily that. It's how are you helping that person elevate a pain point, but how are you also leading them towards a better life? How are you leading them towards this bigger vision? And that all these products that they're buying is just building on top of that, right? That tension of, I'm not where I wanna be in life. And as a marketer, you can help them. You can say, you're not where you wanna be in life because you don't know how to cook, for instance. We're a cooking channel, right? And that in just a few minutes a day, you follow our videos, you're gonna elevate your game within just a few months. Once again, you're progressing someone forward action, right? And obviously down the road, you're gonna say, okay, by the way, you're gonna need more equipment, better equipment, where you're gonna need better ingredients. Oh, we have a deal, new ingredients. So that's where you make your money, is that as you're progressing them forward in the journey, there are gonna be some obstacles that they have to overcome, and typically you need resources for that. Okay, everyone, that was part 2 of This is Marketing by Seth Godin. Go ahead and click that subscribe down below if you like getting better business knowledge from the best business books. And with that, I'm Jason Catalano signing off.